It is okay for a female to talk about issues that they are facing. Shri Narendra Modi ji is the Mahanayak of this world. I'm very, very happy and satisfied in my life. You live your life how you live your days.
Viewers, I'm really glad today to have with us on our sets Prerna Khemka Singla, who is the founder of HairSmart. Well, automatically the first question that comes to your mind, you can look at her and understand how enterprising she is. The fact that she vibrates with a lot of radiance, with a lot of energy. Prerna, what do you first would like yourself to be addressed as? Somebody who is a caretaker of an entire family? Somebody who is at the helm of affairs of a very successful business? Or somebody who is also a public figure?
I think just Prerna is fine. And I think we all are a product of what we are at home. So at the very, very basic, how I am at home, how I'm with my family, the rest flows from there. As you rightly said, for me, in the family, how I'm behaving, that's going to be the core personality which extends outside.
That's fantastic. The viewers would be really interested to know about how this idea of HairSmart, which is a leading hair care company now, come to your mind today, and how did you get into that?
So basically I was suffering from hair loss. I've been in the US since I was 20 years old, and a lot of stress and lifestyle change caused hair loss. And I didn't want to put drugs in my body or do expensive or problematic procedures. And I have been involved with Ayurveda and studying holistic remedies my whole life. So trying to incorporate what I know from my roots, from my culture of India, and then using that in the West and combining that. So HairSmart is a labor of love and like solving a personal problem. And I'm very, very passionate about holistic health and wellness. So for me, it was about how do I now solve this problem for millions of people who are emotionally devastated. Hair loss is a very weird problem to discuss, but it's a very emotional issue. Most people who suffer from this suffer a loss of confidence and self-esteem. I was one of them. You know, now when we are both in our 40s, we have the confidence to look whatever we want to look like. But when you are a young kid at 24, 25, when you lose a big part of yourself, it's devastating. So for me, I was like, well, I found a really nice natural cure to this problem. So now let me help others feel happy. It was really about how do you help others feel happy and confident.
Fantastic. So we can, as you can see, viewers, modest but confident Prerna, speaking about the nuances of how she got into this entire business as such. So Prerna, how, if we want to know a little more about HairSmart, would you like to elaborate as to what work it does? How does it help people? What is the kind of clients that you have, and who or what is the number of people who use the product currently?
Sure. So we are a US-based company, and our entire vision of HairSmart is to uplift through health. So we are a US-based company, and HairSmart's vision is to uplift through health, because as I was mentioning earlier, how you look impacts how you feel. And if you are happy with who you are, you're going to be a happy mom, a happy wife, a happy employee, and happy employer, a happy person. And literally the purpose of HairSmart is to create and awaken a fearless society that is of optimum people performing at peak health. So the way we do it is, because we know it's an embarrassing topic and people don't like to go outside and talk to someone, we have virtual hair coaches. Like you are a personality and you are a life coach. We are doing a small portion of that. We do hair coaching over Zoom, and then we create a customized plan for our clients, and it's a home plan. So it reaches their home within seven business days, and then we stay on with that person for every 2 months. We follow up with them, and in a year we help transform their health.
That's fantastic. So as a matter of fact, you're also doing a lot of community service. You know, when it comes to hair, it just doesn't really concern looks, but also concerns emotions, especially when it comes to people who have been challenged with diseases, such as cancer, etc. So I believe there's a lot of community service element which is also there in your business. Would you like to speak about that as well?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm a new mom. So postpartum loss of confidence is very real. Your bodies change, your hormones change. On top of it, how you relate to your husband changes. your identity is at a major crisis. On top of it, you also experience tremendous hair fall, so now you even feel less of a woman. So we treat postpartum. We also help a lot of people that are cancer survivors gain back their confidence. Quite honestly, one of the reasons why I like to go to work every day is because of my clients. Our clients call us in tears saying we have changed their lives. Not just that, as women grow older in their 40s, their bodies change and there's a lot of confusion as to who you are as a person. And people don't talk about issues like menopause and what it does to a female confidence. And a lot of majority of our clients are women who are transitioning in this menopausal stage. So we have built this sense of community, and it's really is transformational because it is okay for a female to talk about issues that they're facing. So we are normalizing this behavior.
Excellent. So she's also a sociopreneur and not just an entrepreneur. So Prerna, the question that comes to everybody's mind after hearing you is that everybody has their role models. Everybody has people whom they admire, he or she admires, and people whom they have learned from, or they have really kept their benchmark as close to being as closest to that personality, be it a he or a she. So who are the people who have inspired you really in your life? Can be from your family, can be from can be from public service. I think the viewers would love to know that.
One of the people that I find very inspirational is Baba Ramdev, and the reason why is because he's truly helped us feel proud about Indian culture again. He's also made yoga and Ayurveda mainstream, and in the last 15 years, these two very powerful healing sciences were almost eclipsed. And the only thing that we were following was yoga having traveled to the West and then having come back. But Baba Ramdev has really normalized yoga and Ayurveda. He has also really fueled Indian pride by creating a very powerful FMCG company that has now given Indians a chance to be local and buy local. And I myself have reaped a lot of benefits by practicing a lot of holistic remedies. So I think he is single-handedly raised the health quotient of this country.
Excellent. So, and in addition to him, anybody else who would you like to make a mention of?
Yeah, actually, I sometimes do mock questions in my mind as to what am I going to say if I get asked this question. So I think that Shri Narendra Modi ji is the Mahanayak of this world, and I think a mother is a Mahanayak of this universe.
That's really fantastic. So Prerna, another question which comes to my mind is that would you consider as the point which was the happiest point in your life? What was the happiest moment? Or maybe more than that, maybe a couple of moments which were the happiest moments of you?
There's too many to count. In general, to be honest with you, I am in general very happy person, and there has to be a reason for me to feel sad. I also have a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So 99% of the day is very happy because he's adorable. Some of the happiest moments in my life have obviously been peaks of success, because what happens is you work towards something and you try to measure your life by parameters of success. One of the parameters was I did fairly well in my US college and I was the chosen class speaker. So this is a long time ago, but it's still etched in my memory. Some other happiness factors were we are doing some clinical trials on the product, so we got an early promising result. That's a very key moment. Another big happiness moment was I was suffering from severe postpartum depression, and then one fine day I felt like the fog is gone. And I told my husband, it's gone. And I could tell it's there. So that moment is still like something like it was yesterday. And I'm very close to my family. So whenever I'm in India and I'm with my core family, quite honestly, that's the happiest moments of my life.
Excellent. So obviously family is something which is the closest to the heart of the people. And Prerna, one question which everybody has in their minds, that have you really achieved whatever you wanted to achieve so far in life? Or is there something, some particular goal which you still feel will make you feel once you achieve it, that now I have really done what I wanted to do? What is that one goal which you look forward to, which keeps you going?
So I honestly, personally feel like I have achieved everything that I never, let me rephrase that. I personally don't view my life as a achieve goals. That's just my personal way of living life. Every day when I wake up, I am very focused on my input. I'm not an output driven person. I'm an input driven person. So for me, from the moment I wake up at 7, did I plate a good breakfast? Did I make something nourishing for my family? Did I give my 100% at work? Was my team happy today? So that's just me. I have never been focused by output. I also measure my team based on their inputs, not their output.
That's fantastic.
So because you cannot measure both. So, we're going to die a work in progress. Sometimes these answers can seem very lack of focus or lack of ambition. Obviously, I have goals for the company. I have certain health goals for myself. Right now, I'm trying to lose all the baby weight and things like that. But in terms of like, if there is one yearning goal that I'm kind of like obsessed with achieving, if I don't achieve, I'll consider my life incomplete. That's not there. I'm very, very happy and satisfied in my life.
Fantastic. And so you take life as it comes and you enjoy every moment. And is there any next, what is the next big dream that you dream of?
So I can actually share those kind of like, obviously there are some projects that I'm personally working on. One of the big projects that we are working on is doing HairSmart clinical trials. If that shows results, we will be displacing the entire industry in the world, because right now there are only drugs that are cleared or that have been shown to be efficacious to regrow hair. So if we are able to show that with plants you're getting the same results as drugs, so that's a major project that we are working on. It's also very confidential, but of course I can share that we are in clinical trials. The other major project that I have in my life is, we were talking before the show started, how do you as an individual keep performing at peak health? Because if you perform at peak health, you can be the best contributor you can be in your family life, in your work life, in your societal life. So that's a constant achievement that I want to make, how to keep performing at peak health, how to become healthy, how to become energetic, and how to improve my per moment output in that moment energetically. And apart from that, I'm quite involved in the US in 2 community related projects in my life. One is in Hindu advocacy, very involved there, and also in International Hindi Association, which is to keep the culture and the language alive, the NRIs. So those 2 are things that I keep doing on the side.
So here we have somebody who wears so many hats at the same time, community service, advocacy of her own beliefs, doing a lot of great work as an entrepreneur, and of course, leading a fulfilling family life. So Prerna, what else do you love doing? I know that I've heard from people that you love music also. So you also sing, I've heard that. Probably, is there a couple of lines would you like to really sing with us?
Sure. So in my family, we are very blessed to have a Sadguru in our life. So Gorakhnath Sampradaya, that's who we belong to, and we have been singing a lot of bhajans growing up. And I'm going to sing a bhajan in Hindi, which is just 2 lines from a film song. Humko man ki shakti dena, man vijay kare, दूसरों के जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे, वो मन की शक्ति देना.
Lovely. I think she sings as well as a singer would sing. So probably there's another hidden talent which not people know about. Prerna, so many young and budding entrepreneurs around who'll be viewing us, and at the same time a number of ladies, a number of women who look forward to being successful entrepreneurs themselves. So what would be those 2 key elements to being a successful entrepreneur? What would be their advice from you? Maybe 1 or 2.
So I'm guessing like from a female entrepreneur to a female entrepreneur, the number 1 advice would be to compartmentalize your time, because as women, we are hardwired to be family oriented. So it is very, very important to compartmentalize your time. When you're at work, you're at work. Your family will meet you at the door when you enter your home. So that's the first one. And the second one is, don't be extremely hard on yourself, because even when you die, you're going to be a work in progress. So focus on, did you do your best that day? If you did your best that, the next day will be waiting for you when you walk in the door.
Fantastic. Finally, any punchline from you? Somebody I heard said, that stay alive, stay happy. And probably those couple of maybe words or any punchline from your side?
Yeah, this is my recent favorite. You live your life how you live your days. So life is nothing but a string of every day. So don't be like, oh, I'm going to learn the guitar 20 years from today, or I wish I had more work-life balance, or I wish I really put in more time at my work. Your day is today. So if today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week we're going to make up your month. So you live your life how you live your days.
Excellent. It was a pleasure to have Prerna with us on this show, and I wish you all the best and all the success in life. Extend my gratitude for you to have taken out this time for all the viewers and all of us on this show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.